So, welcome, good morning. My name is Coach Jimmy, aka Jimmy Hayes Nelson. I'm coming to you live from Dallas, Texas in my home office where I have been in business now for 8.5 years as a team Beachbody coach. Before getting into business, I had no track record of success. I found myself as a 3-time college dropout who was 100 pounds overweight living back with my parents in my mid-20s. So my plan A, B, C, and D all sucked and failed. I had nothing that said that I was going to stick with anything, much less achieve the highest rank in this business. This is what we're talking about today. I will tell you, and as I share with people, my story is not an overnight success. It was not a get-rich-quick scheme. There are people in this business that you could go look at their stuff that have achieved many more milestones in this business much quicker than I have. But I am a lifer. I am in this for the long haul, and I truly believe there's no such thing as an overnight success. The funny thing about this business, and I've been reminded of this in the past year, is unlike a lot of other things, everybody's starting position isn't the same. And if you're taking notes, write that down, and I'll explain to you what I mean. So let's say someone like me starts this business, jumps into this with weight still to lose. I'm not really confident. I don't have a track record of success. I've quit a lot of things when it becomes hard or not fun anymore. And somebody else starts this business who has a lot of success in corporate America, maybe has a degree, maybe really rocks their job, but they're looking to improve their health and fitness, or maybe they're looking to start something on the side because they want some freedom. Like they've created this great career, but they found themselves kind of in the golden handcuffs, right? Like this great career, but they have no time with their family. Me starting this business and person B, we're not starting at the same spot. That person is coming in with more confidence, more skill set, more track record of success. So now where that person may have to battle a little bit is, are they willing to swallow their ego? Are they willing to learn a different type of business? Are they willing to be teachable coming in? But, you know, as far as the mental game, maybe they're further along. Maybe somebody comes into this thing more confident in the products because they've already had a physical transformation. So before you get caught up into comparing your timeline with others, which we all do, I do, we got to know that not everybody comes in this and everybody's zero is zero, you know, and other people may have had more personal development along the way. Other people may be physically along the way. Some people are already influencers when they come in this business. You know, I had a coach that came into this business and hit Success Club 100 her first month because she had already created a community online. And so she already had created trust and a community, and, you know, they already trusted her. And so when she said, hey, I'm endorsing this, they all ran and flocked that way, you know. So, but the funny thing about this business, as opposed to almost any other business you think about, in order to really progress in this business, it usually starts with an individual finding their groove. And I've seen this over and over and over again, and I have multiple examples of this in my team, that somebody finds their groove. What do I mean by that? They get good at sharing their story. They get good at attracting people on social media or their friends or the list that they made when they got started. And they start those challenge groups, or they start those sneak peeks, or they start recruiting, whatever their avenue is for building this business. And they start cranking really high numbers. And tell me if you've heard this before. Those people that hit like Success Club, like we're not talking 10, we're talking sometimes like 20, 30, or they recruit really strong, and they're killer closers. They get people to take action. However, when you look in their organization, nobody is duplicating what they're doing, right? And this is the timeline that I kind of see with this business is somebody comes in, they go through a basics, they go through some training, they're getting their feet wet, then they find their groove. They find their groove for attracting, for closing, for getting people to join their team, boom, boom, boom. But they don't see it duplicate. They're not sure how to teach those people how to do what they do. And the balance that comes into that is, so there's two pitfalls here. One pitfall is, oh, I've got to slow down what I do intrinsically really well, which may be recruit or find customers or, you know, challenge packs and et cetera, et cetera. And I got to slow that down in order to go manage my team. So sometimes that happens, and it's not something that I endorse, because you took something that coach did so well, and you told them to slow down in order to go manage these other people. Well, anything that we do with this business, so we're talking about how do we get to 15-star diamond coach. And in this business, I've had different glass ceilings along the way. So for a lot of you, it's getting in and just getting to emerald, just to create, 2 people to create their own momentum. I tell people, if you don't take advantage of the U+2 opportunity in this business, you're really silly. You're not taking this seriously as a business. Yes, there's an extra investment in that. Yes, you're paying for 2 other people, but if the structure allows you to do that, create your own momentum. Get the spouse and mom to be on your team, even if they're not working the business. That's not the important part. It's about creating momentum and saying, yep, I got those 2 first people. I've hit the next rank advancement. We're going to go. Then when you create that momentum, I'm telling you, you're going to start attracting people, and then that next glass ceiling is usually diamond, right? And diamond is just finding 12 people total, right? Like 4 on a side, helping some people get to emerald. So that's where the duplication has to start coming in. I feel my best thing that I can do for my coaches is demonstrate what I want them to do more than tell them. So if I'm telling them, hey, you need to recruit, or you need to stick this business in front of 3 to 5 people a week, or whatever that your team's teaching you to do, but they don't see me doing that, I think there's something really false in that. That if I'm teaching my team and going, oh, well, my team's so big, I don't have to do those piddly things anymore. That's bullshit. That just means, like, I'm always gonna be the example of what I want my people to do. And so a lot of the times getting past these plateaus was finding people that were ready to work with me. I tell diamond coaches this all the time. Those 8 to 12 people, don't think that those people are gonna be your cornerstones, your foundation for your business. They're just the first 12 people that said yes. And don't stop recruiting. I tell diamond coaches, great, go find your other 12 super fast, because these people are going away. And so it takes some time to find people that want to build this business as much as you do. So tip number 1 in rank advancing and building to eventually a superstar diamond coach is you can't convince somebody to want to do this as much as you do. I have tried to do that in the past. I've probably gone after this superstar goal probably 3 or 4 times and failed miserably because I was trying to convince people that they were as into this as I was, why they needed to do this, why they needed to be in this. I don't have time to talk you into this. I don't have time to handle your objections. I don't have time to listen to your sob story. If I'm broke, if I don't have enough money, if I don't know how to do this, I'm unhappy in my marriage, I look at those things and say, good, that's why you need to build this thing, because you don't have time, you don't have money. All the things you're bitching about right now, that's why you need to build this, because that's what changes that. So it took me some time to find the people that I could go to and say, look, I have a vision for this. And I have to give a shout out to Julie Voris and Danielle Natoni, if you know them. And at Leadership this past year, they got on stage and talked about the benefits of creating a superstar diamond team. So for those of you that don't know, a 15-star diamond coach and a superstar diamond team, it's the same thing. It's packaging it a little bit differently. So in the past, it was about Jimmy being a 15-star diamond coach. And I would work individually with each of my diamonds, pulling them along. Are you going to be active? You have this person dropping, blah, 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 and just in full-on micromanagement mode. And that, my friends, will exhaust you, burn you out, and you will hate this business. I'm just going to be honest with you. So some of those people that you see that you like, oh, if I could only be like her, or if only I could be like them, that you don't know behind closed doors, they hate their life. They found zero reward in what they've accomplished, and they're miserable because of the way they went about it. I was that person. I can talk from experience because I was that dude. And I was mad at my team and pissed at why don't they do this and why don't they do that? And it's just miserable. It's miserable. Why do I want to drag somebody kicking and screaming in this? So this past year, so twofold. Heard the speech from Julie and Danielle at leadership, about creating a superstar diamond team and why your team deserved to be a part of a superstar diamond team, how it helps the entire team to be able to say, hey, I'm a part of, I think there's less than 50 of those in the network. So out of 400,000 coaches, there are less than 50 superstar diamond teams, right? And, I know for a fact that this past quarter, there were only 26 people that actually hit that milestone. So it's a very small group. So even if your new coaches or the people in your team aren't a 15-star diamond coach, they can talk about how, hey, I'm a part of a superstar diamond team, and we get elite results, and we are part of the point like 0.0001 of people that get people results. And what a cool attraction model. The other thing was a big light bulb turning moment for me was I've been spending a lot of time working with Bo Eason this year. And Bo, what I love about Bo is he talks about not being ashamed for wanting to be the best. And I think a lot of times we all try to dumb ourselves down and we don't want to boast or we don't want to brag or whatever. But he said, don't be timid or ashamed to say, I want to be the best at something, and about raising the bar. Another mistake I've made with my teams before, and you can ask my team if there's been a shift this past year, is I used to dumb things down because I didn't want to overwhelm my coaches, which I hate that word. If you follow me for any amount of words, I hate the word overwhelm from any of my coaches, because being overwhelmed is a choice. It just means you're not doing your daily homework and you've let stuff pile up. That's the way I look at it. Because there's somebody else that has just as much going on and all your same excuses that's getting stuff done. It's just honest. I love you. And so basically, here's the story, right? Here's the analogy that I always love to use. Let's say we're in a playground and we're all out there with a bunch of kids, and I take a stick and I put the stick out saying we're going to do a high jump, and I set the stick up to say we're going to high jump. Do you realize that those kids are going to break themselves up into 3 groups automatically? You're going to have the kids that go, oh my gosh, high jump, let's go, and just jump over it. Those are like those overachiever doers, and they're just like, they love the challenge. You're going to have a group of kids that say, that seems kind of high, but I'm going to try. And maybe they try and fail, or maybe they try and barely flop over it, but they give it a good go. Then you're going to have those group of kids that go, that's too high, I can't do that. Do you realize that those 3 groups of kids will split themselves up into those groups regardless if you set the bar way down here or you set the platform way up here? They're gonna split themselves into the same group. So why would you rob those that are gonna do it? You allow them to hit this much success by dumbing everything down, by playing lowest common denominator with your entire team. But if you set the bar up here, you're going to have those doers that jump over anyway, and those people that are a little nervous they're going to do more than they think they can. And so this is what I learned from Bo. He said, we play to win. You come to play with me, I'm setting the bar up here. We're playing above our heads. We're playing big boy ball up here. I don't care if you're brand new, if you've been in with me for a long, long time. And this is what's going to happen. Your entire team is going to go, yes, I step up. Those middle people, but I'm going to step up. And those middle people are going to do more than they think they can. And you know what's going to happen to that bottom tier? Instead of you having to drag them or convince them or have these really uncomfortable conversations or chase them around, or you active or your people, whatever, they're just going to dismiss themselves. It doesn't have to be awkward. It's not personal. So this is what I did. This is what I did for us to get to a superstar diamond team. And I don't know why this was a little different, but I'm going to tell you exactly what I did, because I'm a big believer that if I'm going to get on here and train, I'm going to tell you what I did. I hate people that get on and will not tell you exactly what they did. You will never get that from me, because I think that's bunk leadership and fake training, and people that say, I'm a trainer, and then they get on something or a call or a training thing, and they don't tell you what they did. That's bullshit. Sorry. And if you're one of those people, start sharing your answers. Quit hoarding. There's enough for everybody to go around. Tell people what you do, because then everybody can grow as big as you can. And guess what? This network's going to be around for a long, 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 long time. There's no scarcity in this. Sorry, small little soapbox for a moment. So this is what I did. I reached out to every coach. I'm having to work with personally sponsored in my first business center. in order to get it to superstar. That's what I need. I need 15 diamonds in my first CBC, right? So what I did is I made a list of every person that was currently diamond, had been a lifetime diamond at one time, or that I saw some potential in. I saw some activity. And some of those people were like emerald or barely emerald. And I didn't care because I would rather work with the doer than the person that's closest. Another just tip that a mistake I made, I used to spend so much time with the people that were actually closest to diamond because I was like, oh, I'm just going to help them nudge over, that weren't really into it and didn't have the right mindset. Or if I'd have spent that same energy in the brand new coach that was the doer, they would have bypassed the person that was the closest. Does that make sense? I really do hope so. I'm going to say that one more time. Work with the doer, don't work with the person that's necessarily the closest, specifically if that person that's the closest isn't into it and you're having to chase them and you're always having to like remotivate them and prop them back up. That's exhausting. That's just exhausting because I've done it. So what I did is I used the Facebook Messenger, right? And if you use the Facebook Messenger app on your phone, you can send little videos and little 1-minute videos. And I just said, hey, here's my vision. I want to give our team the gift at Christmas of being a superstar diamond team. I'm going to be working really closely with a group of people. Just let me know if you're in or you're out. You're going to get a ton of my time. You're going to get my priority over the next, so I think it was 4 weeks before we had to hit 6 weeks to hold. So for those of you that are new, when you hit a rank of 2-star or above, you have to get to that rank and then hold it for 6 weeks to officially be given that title. So I knew we were in for a long haul. So it was basically a month before we had to hit 15-star diamond and then hold it for 6 weeks until Christmas Eve. So I said, hey, we're in this group. And I was like, and I'm going to be up in your business. And that's how we're going to. So we put them. And what we did is instead of a Facebook group, and I don't know why this was different, but it was. We put them all in a group Facebook message chat, right? And I said, I want to know what's going on all the time. So it is a little annoying at first. You can ask my coaches that were in it. It took a little bit to get used to because there was this messenger that was just like ding, 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 all the time. So some people had to like shut the notifications off, but they had to know they needed to stop by like at least 2-3 times a day. And what we did is we all came in and we did a big Zoom call to kick off, like a big video call to kick off. And I laid out the vision and I laid out what was required. And so there was and what I loved about it was a group of some of my veteran diamonds, some of my star diamonds, and then people that were trying to get up into, there was a couple people that were trying to reclaim their diamond status, and then a couple newbies that, and props to the newbies, they could have just totally been overwhelmed and go, God, these people have way more experience than me. And I found a couple that decided to go, I'm going to play with the big boys even though I'm brand new. And they did. They like upped their game being surrounded by this veteran presence. And so on a daily basis, we were in there. Okay, cool. You needed to do this week. How many people did you talk to? They would bring screenshots of, I'm in a conversation with this girl. She's ghosted on me or disappeared. I have this objection. Or how would you handle this? Or I did this post. So we were very involved, which goes back to a mantra of mine I've said for a long time is that engaged coaches are successful coaches, right? So it really was this mastermind of constant conversation. The other thing that was so, not surprising to me, but was so awesome is I had some of my leader diamonds on there. Instead of me feeling like I was in there cracking a whip, a lot of my leader diamonds really embrace this idea of teamwork, and we're gonna become a superstar diamond team. And they were the taskmasters in the group, calling each other out. Hey, so-and-so, we hadn't heard from you in 2 days. Are you in this thing or are you out? And I'll be honest, there were some people that just disappeared. They didn't always remove themselves from the group, but it was just really obvious really quickly who was in this and who wasn't. And there was no judgment to those that wasn't. Maybe it was the wrong time in their life. Maybe it just wasn't their situation. And we didn't, every once in a while we'd say, hey, hey, are you doing okay? And if they didn't respond, there was no judgment. Nobody shook a finger. Nobody said, hey, yo, what the hell? Why aren't you doing anything? We just really put a lot of our energy on those doers, right? And then the people that were already diamond, the goal was, every week we would look at where are the potential holes. Okay, I need you to go recruit 4 more coaches. Like, you're solid here, but if you recruit 4 more coaches and get 2 more emeralds, then you never have to sweat a Wednesday night. And props to my leaders that were diamonds. They were willing to be pushed. Sometimes people, I don't know if you've heard, one of my favorite sayings is, the problem with success is a little bit. People have a little bit of success and then they stop doing the things that got them there. And props to my leaders and my diamonds in this group is they allowed me to continue to push. They allowed each other to push each other. And some of them, it was just a reawakening to get back into the habits they had gotten away from. Maybe they'd been a diamond coach for a while, but their business was kind of stagnant. And it got them back into the activities that everybody needs to be doing to get to that level. So we made it right, like the Wednesday before we had to hit qualification. We barely snuck in because some of those new people were still trying to get to diamond. Some of the people that were trying to get back. So not everybody got to diamond by the qualification date, but we had 15. So then I did another call and I looked at him and I said, okay, we are in 15-star diamond qualify. The work does not stop here. We have to double our efforts. And so I went through, and again, people allowed me to go through each person and pull up the back office and go, okay, this is what I see. Here's potential holes. What is your game plan, right? And so those people kept going. What was cool is we went into qualification with 15, and I think we had 2 others break diamond in the qualification. So all of a sudden, at one point during the qualification, we had 17 diamonds. And every once in a while, there would be a hiccup. I'll be really honest. There was a hiccup today. Even though we've already achieved it, now it's a matter of we want to stick the landing, right? We want to be a superstar diamond team all the time. I don't think most people don't realize that when they see, so-and-so 15-star diamond coach, that might have mean that they held it for 6 weeks once in their career and never did it again. That's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in creating foundation and longevity. So I'm still working with this group right now. And now that we have 17, there's been a couple that have dropped off rank-wise and people that have filled their spots. But it doesn't mean, that means we're working back with those others, right? We're trying to get everybody so solid that Wednesday nights aren't a drama and that they can start turning to their teams and repeating this process, right? And there was just really hands-on, but everybody involved was equally involved. And I really feel like there was this part of nobody wanted to be the weak link. Instead of me working with 15 people individually, bringing them all together, everybody making a commitment to each other, everybody sharing the same vision was huge. And all of a sudden you feel responsible to the person to your shoulder, that person that's in the battle with you. You don't want to let them down. You don't want to be the weak link or the reason that the whole team doesn't cross the finish line. And that was the shift. It wasn't about Jimmy crossing the finish line. It wasn't about me being a certain rank. It really was about this effort. And you can ask any of my people, and some of them are on this chat that are part of this. I can tell you, I truly believe from bottom to top and side to side, all of them have had a confidence boost. All of them have seen an uptake in their business. I think all of them have rediscovered some of the joy in their business and the fun they had in their business that had maybe become mundane or become frustrated. So that's what it's about, painting a vision. It's about finding the right people. It's about making them responsible to each other. And I was the same way. I told them what goals I had going in, that I was doing the activities along with them, and the business centers that I was responsible for, making sure they were solid and they were intact. So that's what this is all about, guys. It's about having a very clear vision. It's about sharing it with other people. It's about finding the right people, not dragging the people along that don't want to be a part of this, but finding the right people and making it happen. Thank you guys for plugging in again. If this is something that benefits you or your teams, share this video, put some comments in here, tag some people and let them know. I really appreciate you allowing me to share this time with you, and go crush it today. People need to hear from you. People need this business. Don't feel like you're bothering people. You're saving someone's life potentially every time you share this. So go make it a great day. Take care.